Did you notice this massive change that was put into the latest patch note in Call Dragon? People who are going to be doing this will be getting a huge leg up with war pets in the next season, and this is exactly what I'm going to talk to you about today. So you can see right here, one of the changes to the pet system, other than fixing a lot of the major issues, is that you are now going to be able to purchase a limited number of 1-star war pet skill cards. So what does this mean? First, if you come into the pets here and you go into the pet exchange, this is the buy and sell, of course. If you filter by 1-star, obviously these are all the 1-star pet skills you can buy. Now, this is something I've talked about before, but there is season purchase limits, and we have had videos covering this every end of season, basically a recap of everything not to forget, and I will make another one for this season. But as you can see here, you can purchase a limit amount of these 2-star and 3-stars skills in the store, which means when you come here and you look at, like, for example, 2 stars, remove everything else, well, you see they're quite expensive, but you basically are able to purchase quite a few of them. So very good ones that are obviously going to go on some of your best pets are going to be things that you want to stock up on. So as you see, I've purchased 4 out of 5 already. So I am currently stocking up on how much of them I have. So you can see all of my 2-star skills here. I have been buying them obviously for multiple seasons and sometimes getting them as a luck. So what this new change is going to implement is that the 1-star are going to be now not unlimited, but are going to be limited. Now, the number could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 15. We don't know exactly what the number is, but what we do know is that when you look here at the 1-star, of course, there are some very important ones, and this is going to become limited. So what you can do right now before it is limited is purchase as many of them as you can so that you can stock up for some of the really good skills in the future. Because if we take a look back at the patch notes, we can see right here that you are now going to be able to upgrade the star ratings of your war pets skills by consuming skill cards. So this is both for talents and common skills. So there is going to be a limited amount of 1-star pet skill cards you can buy, and you are going to be able to use the same pet skill cards to upgrade the skills of your current pets. So basically it's pretty straightforward. You are going to be able to buy as many pet skills cards as you can and use them to make your pets better and their skills better, and potentially get all of their skills at level 2 for 2 stars or 3 stars even if you have enough. So this is why they're limiting it, because obviously using 1-star pet skills will make it much easier to level up your pets. So you have until the 11th in game. So the 11th in game here at midnight. So basically in a little bit less than 6 days, and purchase as many 1-star as you can before it becomes limited. And then you will be able to use all these 1-stars and level up your pets' skills. So now the question is, which 1-star skill should you be saving up on? Because of course you are going to have a limited amount of skill card slots here. As you can tell, I have 27 of them unlocked right now, 28 actually, and unlocking more is basically 2,400 gems. It gets even higher. Now, I'm not sure what the limit is. I think I've seen players with higher than 30, but I'm not going to be spending 10,000 gems just to go and check it out. So basically, you want to kind of get rid of all the non-star skills like this that, you know, obviously these are still pretty rare ones, but they're not star, and you are going to be wanting to buy as many 1-star of the ones that you want to increase. So for example, follow-up is the one that I've stocked up 4 on, because 4 follow-ups is obviously going to allow me to hopefully get a 2-star follow-up on one of my pets. And follow-up is such an important skill for the Shadow Frederick especially, but also just really good in general to apply more of the effect of the skills of the mages. Forceful Pain Bloom, a good choice as well. I've gotten 1 of them. You can get multiple of them obviously, because that is hopefully going to be a better way, or the only way really that I know, to increase the star level of these things. Forceful Pain Bloom obviously is not one that I've ever really found in the wild, so it's one of those that you need to buy to upgrade. So hopefully that is one of them. You might most likely need more than 1 of each to level them up, but as you can see, I've also had quite a few of those that are more for this is like a counterattack march, my Kinera for example. You know, so I have not that many 1-star, but I have quite a few of them. Now I'm gonna buy a few more, and I'm gonna eventually put these on a talent or on a pet basically, and remove them eventually from my inventory so I can buy even more 1-star. Though I do need a little bit of currency, so it is expensive. That's why I try to focus on the lower cost ones that are not as insane in price. You know, the 200 and stuff, like obviously this one 790, it's very good, but it is much more expensive. So you have to kind of look at where it makes sense for your account, which skills you're gonna level up, because you're not gonna be able to get them all, and then you're gonna be limited in how many of these you can buy next season. So obviously a whale can buy the non 1-star version, like a 0-star version, and then put a lot of them into a pet, but buying obviously 1 stars is gonna make it faster. So I would say choose a skill or two. Like for me, I've obviously chosen follow up, and then, you know, choose a skill or two, and then you will be able to use those to level up your pet in the way that you want. Now, my estimate on how many of these skills you're going to need to get from 1-star to 2-star is obviously hard to tell, but if you look at the price, for example, 1 fierce attack 1-star is 790. Now, if we take a look at, like, example, the 2-star, it's 4,400. So we're talking something like 6-7 times the cost of a 1-star. So it would be safe to assume that needing something like 6 or 7 of the previous one would make sense, in the way that obviously if it was more, then you might as well just be buying the 2-star skill off the bat. And then if it was so much less, well, then it would never be good to buy the 2-star. You'd always be buying 1-star. But again, they are limited, so it is not something you can do forever. So it will have to be interesting to see the math behind it all. But really just right now, what's important is that you come and buy these things. There's also some rumors that the 2-star counter, basically 4 out of 5, might reset to 0 out of 5, for example, because it's a new patch that kind of like resets things. Now, there's absolutely no basis for this. It could be completely random. There is a chance that it happens because usually when they change things on certain aspects of the game, things kind of like reset the counters and stuff on their own. You never know how they do it, how they wipe things. There's also a high possibility that this doesn't change at all. But in the event that it does reset to 0, well, it is a good idea to buy some of the 2-star skills that you need right now, especially because it's already the end of season anyway, so you're going to be having to do that anyways in a few days or a week or two, so might as well do it now if you can. But again, just manage your inventory for these skills, of course, because it is hard to get. One thing you can do is, if you want to get rid of some of these skills, now that we know that you're going to be able to increase the star level of talents and skills on pets, I would still wait maybe for the Split Paint Bloom, because obviously you don't want to risk it, something that's so rare. But there are 2 stars that you could, for example, start putting on pets, because you are going to be working on that pet for a long time and you know that you're not going to replace that skill. So for example, I have a 1-star heart wall on my really good pet that I'm putting with Tia for the artifact and the procs. Well, if I am going to for sure keep that pet and eventually level up their skill, well, then I know that I can put the 2-star heart wall to replace the 1-star, because I know that I am going to be focusing on that pet specifically and I'm not going to need much more of this heart wall, for example. But you can also just wait and use more heart wall to level up that skill for kind of free, I guess. So it's up to you, just to make room. It is not a bad idea to use some of these skills if you need them on your pet to make them better currently. But in any other case, otherwise, obviously, just keep all the 2 stars and all the 1 stars that you can, and clear out of everything else that is not a 1-star or 2-star, because obviously the value is not as valuable. On top of, really, the last thing you should really be doing is saving up your pets. So when you're catching pets right now, especially if they look like this, when you are going to be releasing them in the future by pressing this button, the chance of them giving you one of their skill is going to become 100%. So if they only have 1 skill, you're going to get that skill for sure. So technically, I should be getting a 1-star Paint Bloom out of this pet as soon as the patch hits. Out of this pet, I'm going to be getting this Wild Counter-Strike 2-star. So for sure, I'm keeping this because there is no other skill. Now, this, for example, there's a chance I'm getting this or a chance I'm getting this. Obviously, it would be better if it was this, but I'm keeping it in case. This one, also, for sure, I'm getting this, so I would keep it. You know, pets that I would not keep as much, for example, would be, you know, like this is a good one to keep. But like, for example, if it looks like this and there's tons of random stuff, well, the chance of you getting one of them that you want is lower. But, you know, it's still going to be good to keep the pets that you want and the skills that you want that they have on them, because that is going to be the best way to get your talents up. So start catching pets, start saving up all the pets like this that you see for the specific pet that you want. And as you can see, I'm obviously going to be working on a Sapphire Drake to make this one a 2-star, because obviously everything else is pretty well rolled and also still improve. But just to give you an idea, these are the things that you should be really doing right now. The patch is in a little bit more than 5 days, so you can save up a lot of pets, a lot of skill cards, and make sure you are ready for this next patch to finally make our pets more relevant and much more fun of a system. Very, very pay to win system where all the whales are going to then spend so much money to make all their pets 2 and 3 stars, which is fine because all the free-to-play and low spenders who are going to be playing this game for a long term will still be able to get really decent pets. For example, just my 2-star pet here that is obviously very decent, and I have not spent a ton of money or really any money at all in the pet system whatsoever. So it is not impossible to get really good pets. Of course, everything 3 stars will be the best and will start to look pretty ridiculous in terms of damage. If you look at this one, it's already doing basically 1/6 of Bertrand's damage from the pet. And then there is a lot of things strengthening it. 10.53% damage extra for 4 seconds, which is massive when you have Bertrand doing so much damage. So make sure to do all these things, make your pets ready for the next patch, and hopefully have as much stuff stockpiled as you can. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.